folks. Another episode of our Scout Idaho channel here. I was thinking about it, and I had a comment or two about the state of like what I was kind of trying to do here with this truck. Basically, the plan is to get the whole thing up to like a really comfortable level. So we're gonna do like all the brakes are gonna get gone through. I'm gonna go through all of that, probably replace most of the suspension. Inside, I'm gonna do some painting and get this thing like really clean and nice inside. I'm doing all the interior work. I wanna hush mat everything like all the way through the whole entire vehicle. And mostly the idea here is to create a comfortable little trip car that my family and I can go cruising around in up at Yellowstone and the Tetons and maybe Glacier. We're gonna do a lot of road tripping this summer, a lot of camping, and so I'm trying to get this up to a position that really feels comfortable for the family to be in. Probably gonna go through the whole motor, and I'm not gonna take the motor apart. It's actually in really good shape, so it's one of the few things I'm hoping not to get into too deep yet. Maybe at some point in the future, maybe go to like a throttle body or something like that. But right now, just going to be working on some of the more accessory parts of it, like the choke, getting the auto choke working again. I'm doing all the rewire, like a full wire harness, upholstery, all those different parts to make it comfortable. Then I'm thinking about doing some external paint work. I really like the patina on this truck. It's got some serious character and like some vinyl cracking and some primer showing, and just to give everybody who isn't aware a heads up, most of the body, there's really not very much actual rust on this. Like there's a little bit of surface rust stuff going here, but most of it is actually just primer exposed, and so I actually don't mind some of that. Anywhere there's really rust showing, I'm debating kind of coming through and removing that and trying to maybe do like a light color mat to cover some of that. Really want to try to keep the patina look. I do like it, but inside I want all of that to feel brand new. So anything that's chipped or anywhere you'd see paint, I'm gonna be repainting that the original stock color. I do need some recommendations. I know that one of the main things I want to put on here again is the winch is gone here, and I would like to get a new winch. Well, either a new winch, or if somebody knows of where I can grab a like more era appropriate 77, 75, that sort of era winch, that would be really cool. Or if someone's got a really good recommendation for a brand new winch, that would be fine too. The other thing that we found, actually Hazel's father pointed it out to me, and I thought this was really cool. So I didn't know what this was here, and anyone who has an off-road rig probably knows exactly what this deal is here, but this is all welded up, this bumper, and it's actually an air tank, which is super cool. I like that a lot, and I want to utilize it. So I'm looking for a recommendation for a good compressor that I can mount up under here behind the bumper and control and run the tank as an air compressor, because that's awesome and it's already set up for it. So if anyone's got any ideas about that, then I'd love to hear them. Or if anyone's got one lying around they want to get rid of, let me know. I'll buy it off you probably. Yeah, so this is going to be kind of a short episode. I just kind of wanted to throw some questions out for comments and get you guys more involved in the channel if I can. We're having a good time doing it, and the editing's been pretty fun for my wife, and we're doing good things, I think. So I thought I'd go ahead and show the engine bay here, talk about what's in here just a little bit. So this is an International Harvester 304. It drove really nice. It starts pretty easy. The choke is broken. Someone put a manual choke in and it's all frozen, but all the original parts are still there for the original choke system. And the original choke system is really cool. It's just this little system here, and it works off of two things. It's got a vacuum system and then also a heat system. So it's able to tell if the engine is running warmly and if the engine is running well enough to open the choke, or if it's too cold and also not running well enough. So the vacuum kind of gives it that second little bit of information. So if it's cold, closes the choke. But if it's like 60 degrees cold, then it knows by the vacuum actuator to open the choke faster. So it's a pretty cool system, and I'm definitely going to be utilizing that. And then it's already got electronic ignition. That's part of the Scout deal. They did that off the bat, and it's a pretty interesting little multi-module system that I'll be having to get my head around. I kind of understand it, but I'll be going through that in detail at some later point. I have to do a little bit more work in here. I'll have to weld this closed and get rid of the rust. I believe there was some accessory probably for off-roading in here. I'm just gonna put the original water tank back in here for the windshield wiper fluid. And fortunately, they actually had already gotten the Anything Scout wiper arms that didn't need to be adjusted, but those are nice to have because they're updated. And then I need to do some belts. There's a lot of belt work. I probably also need to bleed the brake line system, and I think there's a leak at the master cylinder. That shouldn't be too hard to fix. And then I need to bleed the powered steering system also. It was really spongy and didn't work very well at low RPMs. That might also just be a belt issue. So yeah, I'll be going through a number of products in the next couple of videos I've been using, I've been really happy with. One thing I found after I did the inner rockers is this product. There's actually a bunch of different companies that make this stuff, but a self-etching primer that's weld through is really cool. Weldable, you can buy weld through primers. It doesn't have to be self-etching, and not all self-etching are weldable. But weld through primers are a really handy product to have for what I'm trying to do, where you're trying to get paint in places where you have to immediately weld over. And then I've been using my this Lincoln Electric welder. This was cheap. It's not a very, very nice welder, but it's doing a great job for me. I'm a total beginner, and it's not been that hard of a learning curve. It's just flux core, but you can adapt it to be MIG later. And it's only like a $500 unit. It's like really cheap. So I've been enjoying that. I'll be talking about lots of products as I go, I think. Obviously not promotional or paid, just kind of explaining what I'm doing. And a big part of this channel is just to give people who are a little afraid of doing this kind of work kind of some hope. It's not that bad, and it's not that hard. It's actually really fun if you like doing this sort of thing, or if you like building, or kind of creating your own, having to kind of figure your own way out. And the guys at Anything Scout are really, really helpful too. If you buy their products at all, they will talk to you on the phone. They'll tell you, if you've got any questions, they'll tell you, they'll kind of give you a little bit of guidance. And they've got tons of videos on YouTube that are much better than the ones I'm making for a lot of the same things. So good resource. And there's a ton of other really great resources. Lots of really great forums. Almost every city has a Scout club of some sort, so there's always a bunch of people who know what they're doing, and the community is super cool. I've already dealt with some guys in town here, bought some of my old bucket seats off me and the roll cage that was in here, and they were all, that guy was really cool, and his wife was really cool, and so good people to meet. I think that's all I've got to say for this little blurb, and thank you guys for watching and subscribing, and we're hoping you continue to enjoy watching this channel. Like and subscribe, and we'll catch you on the next one.